Oh, it's that time again. I've got something special to show you. You're going to want to see this sailboat, and you're not going to believe the price.
Hi, I'm Joe, and welcome to Motor City Boat Werks. Let's get to work.
If you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. If you're one of our returning subscribers, welcome back to the show. This episode, you may notice I'm not in the boat works. I've traveled more than 300 miles north from the boat works to come take a look at a very special sailboat. This is one of the boats that's been on my bucket list going on 20-some years. My boat bucket list is comprised of boats that I always wanted to work on, boats I always wanted to own. Now, in my retirement, I tracked down these rare boats. I like to check them out and bring you along. This episode is all about why this little sailboat is so special, why it's on my bucket list, and why I think you gotta check this out. We're north past Traverse City, all the way up on the banks of Lake Michigan. Up here, folks are serious about their boating. So we've come all the way up here. So this is it. You're gonna check this out. They have a really great property here, and behind the log cabin house here is this. Look at that. I don't know about you, but there's something about coming upon a big sailboat in the back of someone's yard. This boat is a 1986 Halman Horizon. It's a 27-foot sailboat, cutter rigged, with a Skeg-hung rudder and a fin keel. It has a Yanmar diesel engine, and it's for sale on Facebook Marketplace for $4,500. That's the sailboat, the mast, the cradle, and this giant trailer that's behind me. I'm going to take you on a tour of this boat. We're going to go up inside of it. I'm going to show you all the bits and bobs, and we'll get all into it and see what's going on. I hope you stick with me.
I just want to remind everyone that Motor City Boat Werks has no sponsors. I get no compensation when I film these boats. I have no financial interests in their sale, and I receive no compensation. In the 1980s, Halman Manufacturing was a boat building company based in Beamsville, Ontario, Canada. They're probably best known for a small trailerable sailboat called the Halman 20. This is essentially a copy of a sailboat made by Nordica Yachts. That's a boat that I've been searching for more than 30 years. We'll talk about that in another episode. Halman had a reputation for a very high build quality. They built strong character sailboats that spoke to more traditional leaning sailors. In addition to the Halman 20, Halman Manufacturing also made the Halman Horizon, a 27-foot sailboat that was rigged as a masthead sloop. It also came as a cutter. The Horizon cutter was just over 27 feet long. It had a beam of 9.5 feet. The fin keel draws 4 feet. It displaced 7,000 pounds, of which 2,250 pounds were ballast. It's all fiberglass, and they came with an inboard diesel engine. Before going out of business in the 1980s, Halman Manufacturing only made 42 of these sailboats. Why is this boat so special? It's special because it has an unusual combination of characteristics in a 27-foot boat. Right off the bat, it's got this massive bow pulpit, this bowsprit built in. It is fantastic. It also has the rounded stern, the canoe stern, that I always like to see on my classic sailboats. It's great for following seas and makes it very seaworthy. This particular sailboat is the cutter version, and that by itself in an under 30-foot boat is really kind of special. The last thing that makes this boat stand out is the rudder.
This is one of the things that makes this boat so special. This is what's called a Skeg-hung rudder. It's a rudder that hangs off the transom of the boat, right? It's mounted on the stern. Instead of, like on a lot of classic boats, the rudder is below the hull down here and it's affixed to the hull. Well, this is mounted from the transom here. It provides really great control, for the boat. I always prefer a Skeg-hung rudder because it's very easy for maintenance. All this has been redone by the owner. All of it's been resealed. This boat has an inboard diesel engine, a Yanmar 2GM. This is all in amazing shape. There's no play or anything.
Hey, I just want to take a moment to thank all of our supporters and fans, all of our subscribers, and those of you who are supporting us on Patreon. If you're new to the channel and you're just now checking us out, the single most important thing that you can do is hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend about Motor City Boat Werks. This channel would not be possible without your support. Thank you.
So this boat has not been painted. This is the original gel coat here, and it's been buffed and maybe waxed here, but look at the condition of this. It's just, it is almost showroom quality, even though it's been sitting outside like this. Now, the bottom of the boat's had a complete bottom job done on it, sanded down, and then recoated with, 2 coatings of West System epoxy, and then primed and had All Grip 2000 put on it, and then the actual bottom coating, which is what you see here. All that done by the owner. He really did a nice job. It's really pretty impressive. This is something you don't often see when you come upon a boat, sitting in the backyard behind someone's house. It has really been taken care of.
The owner of this sailboat is an old salt named John. He's owned a number of sailboats in his lifetime and restored many of them. He bought the Halman Horizon about 5 years ago and sailed it across Lake Michigan through some very heavy weather. As he's gotten older, he's decided it's time to sell the boat. He's ready for it to go to a new home. The price reflects tough times, a difficult climate to sell a boat this far north in the United States. I always get a kick out of meeting other sailors, folks who've been around the block and know a thing or two. It's fantastic to take a moment and maybe learn something from someone.
So basically what you've got here is a pole that's attached to this little kind of gadget right here, which is called a, what does that thing say? Sand. It's called a sand reach bracket, and then this attaches to your orbital sander. All right, and what do you do with it?
You can sand
Whoa.
with both hands like this.
Yeah.
And by pivoting this around, you can get different angles.
Huh.
You can also
Look at this. This is
add
a
a pole to it, and that takes out some of the strain off your arms.
Yeah.
And by extending the reach that way, and you can use it as a levering to put more pressure on the hull. And again, you can go by moving your left hand sideways. You can go this way, and up and down you can go that way.
It's brilliant.
It just takes the work, some of the work.
John, how did you come up with that?
Well, I started sanding this hull by hand and realized that it was not going to work very well for me. And so I looked online, and this popped up, and it was designed by a carpenter out in California who had a bunch of wood to sand.
Yeah.
And he figured that there was a better way of doing it. He invented this thing, and he sells them now.
That is absolutely brilliant.
But for $15 plus shipping,
It's probably worth trying out. I got to tell you that it would do a lot to take the strain off your arms. I might have bad elbows and the reoccurring tendonitis. I'm telling you, this will take care of that.
but by taking your pole here and moving it back a little bit, you can drop down. You can cover a lot of area with the same
Brilliant,
point.
man. Look at that. I love it. John, you are a salty guy. Let me tell you. It's something I never would have thought of.
Lever like that.
Huh.
Undo that, and your sander's free.
Wow. I love it.
And then this just attaches to a conventional paint roller pole
Yeah.
that you can extend up and down any way you want.
Motor City Boat Werks has no sponsors, and I get no compensation from any of the companies or the products that I sometimes mention on my channel. However, in the description, I sometimes put links for Amazon where you can find some of the tools or items that I'm using in the restoration of my boat. Amazon does provide a small commission if you use those links. And I want to tell you, if you go to those links on the episode description, click on one of those links, it'll open up the browser. Even if you don't buy the products that I use in the show, anything you buy from within that link, well, Amazon pays a commission. It's a great way to support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and it doesn't matter what you're buying.
Now I think is a good time. We're going to go up on board the boat here and kind of check it out. Let's see what's going on. Once again, it's a chance to see a fat guy climbing up on top of a boat on a ladder. One of these days, it's going to be worth watching. It's just starting to rain, so we got to get inside here. Let's get on board here before we get wet. Well, it's a massively deep cockpit here, and it's got to be almost like 18 inches or so. Take a look at this here. It is pretty good size. This is going to be your diesel fuel tank right here. It's probably going to be somewhere around 10, maybe 30 gallons.
From the ground, you never know what the deck is going to look like. Everything is solid. The deck looks good. There's a couple of places where maybe there's some non-skid damage, but in general, this all looks pretty good. The non-skid is in very good shape. It's still very aggressive. All of the fittings and hardware, it looks complete. This boat's been rigged so all the lines are led aft to the cockpit. You can steer the boat from the cockpit, control all the lines without having to go forward. The wood's in good shape, just needs to be cleaned up and refinished.
I don't know if you can see this right here, but these are the chain plates right here. And just like most boats of this age, they go down and they're mounted to the hull and to the bulkheads down below. The chain plates have been rebedded, so they don't leak now, but they did in the past, which is why you may notice some damage on the wood on the interior down below. Look at that. Nice. I like that. That's your bullard there. That's your bowsprit. Look at this. And I'm not going to step on that because of the way this is on the trailer, but I like it.
This is the second Halman that I've actually seen in person. They're different models, but right away I can notice some similarities. I always like the molded details in their fiberglass decks. I talk about this in the Boat Werks. It's the little things that count. Here's a good example. Stanchion bases and deck fills always leak over time. By setting them proud, you don't have to worry about water leaking into the holes. It gives you a lot more longevity, and it also helps raise the height of the lifeline. I've found that a lot of old boats, they're not quite put together with this sort of care and forethought. The hardware and the construction just seemed really to be up to par.
This cover here, that's nice. All right, come on. Nice. Look at that, got standing headroom and everything. All right, come on down.
You can look at pictures of the interior of a lot of boats, but until you're standing inside them, you really can't get an understanding of how much space there is, whether or not it's going to fit for you and be the way you like it. I don't know about you, but when I'm looking at the interior of one of these boats, I'm looking around to see how much work do I have to do? What is the overall condition? And, what's the quality of the fittings that came with the boat when it came from the manufacturer? Cosmetic issues, damaged wood, from water leaks over time, all that can be repaired and taken care of as long as everything is, still pretty good quality. A lot of it has to do with the materials that came from the factory and whether or not they were good to begin with. I'm also looking at how I fit in a space. Is it well thought out? Can you get through a doorway? Do you hit your head on the ceiling? Or are the lockers in the cabinets accessible? Do they have proper latching for when you're at sea? How exposed is the wiring, and where can you access the systems that you're probably going to need to upgrade during a restoration? I got to tell you, the Halman Horizon doesn't disappoint. This thing's very cool.
This is going to be your tiller right here. This right here is the attachment point for the auto helm. That's not bad. This is going to be your fiberglass. I think this may be a waste tank right here. This is what I would guess. Well, I'm going to tell you, right as I was getting on the boat, it started to rain. And now I'm inside the boat, and I'm waiting to see if any of the portholes or hatches or anything is leaking. It's got some age from having been sitting outside for a number of years, but the owner tells me that he rebedded all of the portholes with all new gaskets and all the hatches. And I got to tell you, it seems pretty watertight inside here. It doesn't smell musty or moldy like a lot of old boats smell. If anything, it's got that tinge of diesel smell, probably from the diesel tank, maybe any leaks that are going on with the engine. But in general, it's an old boat that's in surprisingly good condition. It needs a cleanup, the wood needs to be taken care of, and maybe all the systems updated. But these boats are cool, and they just look so great. It's all sexy, I love it. I'm going to say the V-berth is at least 7 feet long. It looks plenty wide and very airy, especially with this hatch behind me. It really lets a lot of light in down below here. The wood and all of this has a real kind of nautical feel to it. I just love it. And the low maintenance of the headliner, this pan liner that's all integral here, makes it super easy to clean everything up. So this is all headliner here. Nice. Any way you look at it, this boat has a lot of character. There's a lot going on here. I really like it. So I don't know if you can see this right here. I'm going to try and show you. But so this is the head. I'm in the V-berth right here, right? This is the V-berth where I am right here. This is the V-berth. This is the head right here. Right here, a little bit of a hanging locker there at galley and the main cabin out there. But what I want to show you is that this is a sliding door for the head. Check this out. This, I don't know if you can see this, but there's actually a track up top here, and there's a track down on the bottom that goes all the way across. So this door slides completely across here, closing off the head, right? And the owner tells me that there's actually another door that goes right here, but he removed it because it tends to get in the way, and there's not really a place to kind of leave it open. You have to kind of close off the head like that. So he's taken it out. But what a great design. And it's not that big of a head area, but, it'll work in a pinch on a trailerable sailboat. This right here is probably going to be your drain down into the bilge if you were to use this as a shower. And I'm going to guess right here, there were probably at one time, your sink fittings and what have you. Here's your galley right here. Check this out. So we've got this is going to be an alcohol stove right here with an alcohol oven. I'd like to see how that works. Whoa, look at that. That's going to be your ice box. Everything you see inside here comes with the boat, except for the personal effects. All the sailing gear, all the boating gear. You've got some new sheets here. This is, what's this going to be? This is going to be a storm sail. Ooh, that's proper. Look at that. Nice. This boat comes with a mainsail and 2 head sails, you know, one for the bow of the boat and one for the cutter head sail, right? And then it's also got this safety storm sail. That's what this little orange sail is that's right here. So this right here, this is going to be your boom and probably your boom for like your staysail, right? That's what these are right here inside the boat.
Let me take a moment to show you the aluminum mast. This all looks in very good shape.
So aluminum mast, but it's been painted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty rough when I got it.
Did you paint it again? Or
I painted it.
you painted it again? Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it's dirty right now, but it does clean up.
Yeah.
So.
Probably needs some new lines, but all the hardware's there.
So this boat has a 12-volt DC system and a 120 shore power system. So this is the port side of the main cabin here. You've got a dinette here. This is your electrical stuff all back here. Check this out. This is kind of clever. Look at this. Wow, look at that. Brilliant. Look at that. Well, I'm going to tell you, so this is one of the ways that you know that there's not a lot of excessive moisture down here is you can open all of these cabinets and what have you. I mean, you would not be able to open this if the wood was all swollen because of leaks or whatever. Look at that. Perfect. Now there's water down here, but that's from the rain. Not bad. I like it. You can see back here, there's 2 quarter berths, and the engine compartment is underneath the steps. We'll try and get inside there. The V berth forward, you know, is separated from the main cabin area by a little head. It's all very nautical, and it's all complete. It's in reasonable condition. It's just old, you know. It's been sitting outside for a while. Pressure on there. Okay. Whoa, look at that. Nice. Very carefully. Take a look at that. This is a Yanmar 2GM diesel engine. It's probably the original engine, I would say. Although there were 42 of these boats supposedly made, and supposedly the engine that came with them was actually a Volvo, sometimes with a sail drive. This doesn't have a sail drive, right? It's got a shaft with a prop and everything. So maybe this was special ordered this way, or someone repowered it at some point. So unlike some of the boats that we've looked at, right, where the engine access can be very, very difficult, and maybe you can't even get yourself in there to do normal maintenance, change the oil or anything like that. This one, you have very good access to this little diesel engine right here, and you can pretty much access everything from the front, and then anything that you can't get from the front, you can do from the back here. There's a side panel. I don't know if you can see this. It's open right here. And you can get all your access inside there. Again, this is all pan liner right here, all the way around. So the interior has kind of a nice finished feel to it. Even, I want to show you this. Check this out. So even this right here, this is going to be, this is what it looks like behind the pan liner here. You have access to the mounting points for the winches and whatever. If you ever have to change any of that stuff out, you got leaks. That's pretty clever that they put that in there. Here, that's what this is right here. right here to give you access inside there. I like these here, let me tell you. Look at that. That's nice. A lot of times these are plastic, all bronze. Atkins and Hoyle. Nice.
Now let me take a moment to talk about this trailer that the boat is currently sitting on. I kind of agree with John's assessment that this trailer may be not appropriate for being hauled long distance. While it looks pretty large and robust, it's really not heavy duty enough. But that's okay because John has another trailer available, this one for $1,500 with some slight modification. I think it would be much more appropriate for long distance hauling. So now let's take a moment to recap what you're getting with this boat. This is a 1986 Halman Horizon cutter. It's 27 feet long. Despite its age, it's in very good condition. It has a running Yanmar diesel 2GM engine. It comes with a full complement of original sails, as well as all the rigging, the booms and masts and everything. It comes with the steel cradle that it's sitting on, as well as the large black trailer, all this for $4,500. An additional trailer, maybe one more appropriate for long distance hauling, is available for $1,500. I think this is a lot of boat for the money, and it's in fairly good shape. It's complete, it looks good, it's unusual. These things are really rare. It just seems like a great deal.
If you're interested in this boat or you want to find out more information, I'll leave the contact information and the original Facebook Marketplace sales ad in the description for this episode. You can contact the owner directly and get your questions answered directly from them. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you get a kick out of seeing these boats the same way I do. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Stay motivated.